And there we are.
Welcome in.
We're back, and if you're just now joining in, yes, you saw the logo come up a couple of minutes ago. We just wanted to make sure you were there. We could hear everything you were saying. You just couldn't hear what we were saying.
Right, exactly.
Or something like that.
Totally.
We heard all like, what is going on out there? Can't you guys turn the sound on?
Absolutely.
Well, we did that intentionally. It was a surprise. So anyway, Faithletic, the podcast, you are tuned in to the most dynamic and newest podcast online today.
Absolutely.
And I am Coach Dan. He is.
I'm KC.
And we are Faithletic.
Yeah,
And you might be asking yourself, what is Faithletic? Well, Kyle, why don't you tell them?
Well, Faithletic is taking the world of sports, athletics, that part right there, athletics, and then we put it together with faith and mentoring and all of that, and we kind of look at sports. Well, we look at them from just the everyday viewer, but we also we are very much into the coaching, mentoring world, and so we've tried to take those two worlds together.
Combine them.
It can combine them.
And it's a new thing, and just so you know, we kind of know a little bit about what we're talking about. We just didn't come up with this concept and say, let's try it.
Right.
Number one, KC is a youth pastor at a local church here in Yukon, Oklahoma City.
That's
if
right.
you're tuning us in from afar from here, I have a mentoring program for kids, adults, older adults, whatever age, men, women, whatever they want, girls, boys. Been doing that for about 7 years. It has a weightlifting or powerlifting, if you will, platform, but we teach basic concepts, biblical concepts, but they're all tied into simplistic ideas. So, and we talked about that on one of our shows.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Yeah, you
to
are.
see
You're getting. We can hear you.
Oh yeah, I was just checking.
We're there.
Yes.
And this may be the very first show we've had where we actually got kicked off we got kicked off the show or on the show
without a hitch.
Without a hitch. We're starting to figure it out.
I was just checking to see if we were live, if I could hear myself.
Yep.
Turns out I can.
I can. You can.
Yeah.
And another thing, if you're looking behind us, we officially have our banner now in our Palacio. Is that a true word?
I don't really know. Our palace.
Our actual live studio here at Faithletic Live, the podcast. We're in our private studio here with our own banner now.
Yes, the private studio day, Dan Black. That's Spanish, right?
Something like
Something
that.
like, I don't know. That wasn't good.
So I don't.
I'll swing and a miss on that one.
And well, whatever. I mean, we're still trying to figure it out.
We need to figure out a name for your this cool studio.
Yeah, we do.
Have.
Well, I call it the Sports Palace.
The sport, yes, yeah, I like that.
The Faithletic Sports Palace.
Live from the Faithletic Sports Palace.
It's done. Bang.
There we are.
Bang.
Come on.
So if you're tuning in the first time, you can obviously you're seeing us on Facebook Live. We also have an Instagram account. We have a Twitter account, which we're still trying to figure out the ins and loops there. Kyle's supposed to be handling that. He's in charge of media relations, although he doesn't know it yet.
I didn't know that until tonight.
Yep.
So
welcome. You got to start.
You're going to see a lot more of my face right now. That's for sure.
We're paying you. We might as well get something out of it in return, right?
I even made a video for last week in our absence because you were vacationing.
I didn't see it.
I made it and then I never posted.
Oh, I started to say.
Real dumb stuff though. So anyway, it was my fault.
And then on top of that, we also have our own YouTube channel.
Yes, we do.
So if you miss a podcast, you can go to Faithletic on YouTube.
That's right.
It's spelled, look at the logo behind us, Faithletic. And you can actually watch all 3 of our episodes. And this is actually episode number 4.
Episode number 4.
And this is a special edition because generally we're on Thursdays at 8 o'clock.
Correct.
But we're having a special bonus edition tonight because on Thursday night, head basketball coach and co-founder of Team Black Mentorship, Quinn Woolridge, live in studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Jacked.
On Halloween.
With me, because you're going to be dressed up as what?
I don't a Mighty Duck.
A duck.
Yeah, Mighty Duck from Mighty Ducks 2.
Okay, good.
For sure.
Good for you.
Jessica and I moved into our house this weekend.
Yay.
And
congratulations, by the way.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. The house didn't blow up or anything. It's
Welcome
still there.
to your. Well, no, you got you. Before I'm probably kind of jacked up tonight because I'm feeling better for the first time in a few weeks. So one of the coolest things I ever heard of is while the house was being built. Won't you tell us what you did?
Yeah, actually, so this is definitely the faith part of Faithletics for sure. While the house was being built, we got this idea from, I believe, from Toby Anderson and Nate Kinney were ones that said, hey, you need to go to your house and just write verses. That
in the framing
of the house.
So cool.
So each room is covered by a verse, and so
that is so cool.
Yeah, we prayed over the house several times, Jessica and I, and
we did that.
Yeah, so now,
which we didn't actually do it in the framework.
Sure,
but we did it before we moved in.
Yeah. And so we just prayed over that, and now our house is protected.
Yep.
It is. It's amazing. Ideal Homes did an excellent job. It's been a 9-month process.
Shameless plug.
So yeah, well, they hooked us up. So
good for
them. Yeah.
Good for you guys, and I'm proud of you. And
yeah,
it's cool.
It's adulting. Like I was worried about.
It is very much. So.
I was worried about the sod and all of that.
Yeah.
I was really worried about it because we didn't have any rain, and now it's
a
cold, rainy day in Oklahoma City.
There you go.
No worries about the sod. But anyway, it was a really cool process, and Jessica and I are just so thankful to the Lord that we have this house, and we're hoping that it blesses people for many, many years. So
good for you, man.
Anyway, we got some people watching out there. We have a few viewers listening.
Yay.
And
all right, welcome.
I'm watching. Make sure not tweet us. Just comment if you have any thoughts.
Yeah.
We'll look at them.
We'll read them.
We'll read them.
Keep them clean.
We'll answer your questions.
Keep them clean.
Yes. So.
Which most of my people will.
Yeah.
I don't know about your people, but my people
just
will.
Depends on who it is. Anyway. Funny story about that later.
So,
anyway.
A little bit what we're going to do tonight is more on the sports side tonight. We'll get more into the other stuff on Thursday. But we're going to kind of do our mid-season preview, special bonus edition. We're going to talk about the NFL, who we see as MVP, coaches of the year, and our playoff teams at mid-season. And we're going to do something similar to that in the NCAA college football.
Yes, we are.
And then we're going to do a segment that we haven't done in a while, which is going to have our predictions. We're going to do 5 college games, five pro games. And then our regular segment will be overvalued, undervalued, or money.
Cha-ching.
And you know what? I kind of think I want you to question me this week.
Oh, gosh. That's going to be... Yeah. Okay, I think we could do that.
Yeah, because the last 3 times we've done it, I've been the questioneer and you've been the questionee.
Yeah, now I gotta really think about that. That's all I'm going to be
You got a whole show.
About. Yeah,
because we'll do it at the end or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
But let's not do it right now.
No, we don't have to do that right now. No, but...
Whoops. Okay.
Yeah. But speaking of that new house, is like another reason. Thursday, Jessica and I decided that we wanted to meet our neighbors. To have kids trick or treat. So we're gonna sit outside in the cold, bundle up, and hand out some candy bars. Our house will have full size candy bars. We're gonna be that house the first Halloween. So that's what we're doing. We're excited about that for sure.
That's pretty cool.
We want to be cool.
And it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. Not afraid.
44 degrees.
I'm going to build a fire out on our front lawn and then probably get the HOA.
Don't
will probably kick us out.
Try not to get the neighborhood on fire. That wouldn't be good.
Right.
Be good.
So we had some pretty amazing things happen in sports.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Let's do our. You know what? I did not. That's where I should have had my iPad.
Okay.
So we need to kind of look at the schedule. Can you pull up on your phone?
Sure.
Yours might be faster than mine. Because let's do our mid-season NFL if you're good with that.
Sure. Yeah.
So what the records are? Who's in each division? Who's in first place?
Yeah. Let me pull that up, people. I had the opportunity to go.
Oh yes, let's talk about that.
To Arrowhead Stadium. against the Green Bay Packers this Sunday with my dad and his best friend and his sons and my brother-in-law, who's a Packers fan. Because five Chiefs fans versus one Packer fan. With
By the
us.
way, not to interrupt, and I'll do this occasionally,
Yes.
is we have UCO Hall of Famer David Raleigh.
Oh,
watching.
right.
Yes.
Sweet.
UCO, University of Central Oklahoma, Sports Hall of Famer David Raleigh listening in.
David Raleigh,
Yep.
welcome in.
And he's actually going to be a guest on our show at some point.
Does he
so-
know that yet?
He does.
Okay.
He does.
All
We've
right.
had
Just wanted to
conversation.
make sure. Like that deal that I became a
Media relations director.
relations guy, media liaison for Faithletics.
Dave and I had the honor of being inducted at the same time. So, and he is kind
Come
of my
on.
running buddy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dave said when we were we called it Central State back then.
Yes.
We pretty much ran the place.
Absolutely. You were a big man on campus for sure.
Well, Dave was. He was defensive tackle, so I liked hanging out with guys bigger than me in case I
Sure.
got in trouble.
right. That's smart.
Although
You're
they
a
were one that
smart man.
sent me into battle so they wouldn't get hurt.
Ah. Oh man. So this is what we got so far.
All right.
We got the Patriots, AFC East, Patriots, Bills, Jets, Dolphins in that order.
Okay.
So you that division is terrible.
And
by the way.
what's the Patriots record right now?
It is 8-0.
Oh yeah. Yeah. how
Yeah,
could
but
we
you got the
forget?
Bills at 5-2.
And that is the AFC what?
Yeah, AFC East.
East. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And who's at 5-2?
Bills.
Oh wow.
Bills are at 5-2.
Okay.
You got the AFC West, which is another just not great division.
No.
You have the Chiefs at 5-3.
KC 5-3.
You have the Raiders at 3-4.
The Raiders.
Chargers at 3-5.
What are they? 5-4.
The Raiders are 3-4.
3-4.
Chargers are 3-5, and you got the Broncos at 2-6.
Okay.
And then in the AFC North, we have Ravens at 5-2, Steelers at 3-4, Browns at 2-5. There's a surprise one right there.
Okay. This is the North.
This is AFC North, yes
And
sir.
Run that by me again.
Ravens 5-2, Steelers 3-4, Browns 2-5, and the Bengals 0-8.
Yeah, they're out.
They're not good.
Bengals are what?
0-8, 0-8, the big 0.
And who's the other team? The Browns.
The Browns.
And they're what?
2-5. 2-5 Browns. So and then in the AFC South, you have this is an interesting division, by the way. You have Colts at 5-2.
It is an interesting.
You have the Texans at 5-3, and both the Jaguars and the Titans are at 4-4.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
let's break down this AFC real quick.
Okay. So right now, if the season were to end today,
Right.
okay, so the New England's in,
Yep.
KC's in,
Yep.
Ravens are in,
Yep.
Colts are in, and in your wild
And
card,
then your
would be
wild
the
cards,
Bills
which is crazy.
and
Yep.
the Texans.
Yes, that's correct.
So and let's kind of see who would play who. So the two buys would go to
The Patriots and the
would it be the Ravens or the Colts?
hold on.
Have they played each other?
Wow, this is this is a log
Yeah,
jam.
It is. The buy is New England.
Yes, I think it would go to the Ravens.
Okay.
Actually,
Let's just say it does.
let's just say it does.
Okay. So then you would have the Chiefs hosting
Yes.
against the
You'd have the Chiefs and the. Jeez.
Texans. Chiefs would host the Texans,
Yep.
and then you would have
I actually think the Chiefs would host the Bills.
no.
Nope.
Because
Okay.
And then the Bills would host
The-
what's the other wild card team?
What did we say? The Texans and the Bills.
Oh, Colts.
Oh yeah, the Colts
Colts
are
would
in there
host
too.
Bills.
Yeah, so you should have Colts, Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So first round game. Let's say they stop today. Colts, Chiefs hosting Texans. Who wins that?
Chiefs.
As long as
Patrick Mahomes,
Mahomes is
healthy.
back. Mahomie.
Mahomes.
Mahomie. Okay, so and then Colts versus Bills.
I gotta go with the Colts there.
Yeah, I would too. So we're in agreement there. So then you would have New England hosting
Kansas City.
no,
No. Depends on the record.
it would, but the Colts are. Oh yeah, it would.
Let's say because I think I think you're gonna see the Chiefs actually sneak in with a 9 and not sneak in. They're gonna win that division at 9-7, and I think they're gonna be about they'll be a 3 seed because they are a division winner.
So they would have to. New England would host the Chiefs,
They would.
and then the Colts would. Wait a minute, who won that?
The Ravens. The Ravens and the
Ravens
the
would
Colts.
host the
Yeah, they'd host the Colts.
Colts.
Yep.
Okay. So your boys are on fire or on the edge on the first game. Second game.
So, but I really do think that the Chiefs are going to get healthy at the right time because they are decimated with injuries right now.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, you have, Sammy Watkins has been in and out. Tyreek Hill was out for 4 weeks. All of that to say, I really do think they're going to get healthy at the right time and they're going to get hot at the right time. And so they're going to surprise New England. I still fully believe that.
I hope you're right.
Yes, it is a hot take. And actually Bill Simmons, who's a big Patriots fan, big podcaster, he is a big Patriots fan, and that scenario came up today, and he even was like, "Yeah, that would stink to see Chiefs Patriots that are in the playoffs." Yeah,
because they're probably, although and the Ravens, man, but I think that sooner or later these novelty offenses get found out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's still the prototypical, it still is. I mean, there really never has been that style of quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I mean, when you look back on it, I mean...
who are you talking about? You're talking about Patrick? Or are you talking about...
I'm talking about like...
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
No, because you think back to it.
The one that closest came was Cam Newton.
Cam was close.
He got popped around pretty
Donovan McNabb back in the day
didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Michael Vick never quite made it there. So you have these dynamic offenses for sure.
Well, it's not so much the offense; it's these running style quarterbacks that run pass option out of the quarterback. They they win games and they surprise people, but in the end,
Russell Wilson might be the only one.
Yeah, but maybe I guess you could say he did.
He's a running quarterback.
Yeah.
So but
he's not really the type of quarterback that. He's more of a passing quarterback.
He's a great hybrid. He's a great hybrid of the two. His pocket presence is as good as anybody.
I mean, if you look at Lamar Jackson, is he a better runner or a better passer?
Runner, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now,
and Deshaun Watson, he's a better runner or a better passer?
Yeah, I think he's that hybrid.
Yeah, he's a better runner.
Yeah.
So they're not
typical. He's exciting in that play, which I don't know if anybody's seen it at all, but he gets kicked in the face.
Yeah.
And still, is able to kind of pick himself back up and throw for a touchdown. Incredible play, for sure. So, but yeah, that was my trip to the Chiefs game was. Oh, I didn't even really talk about that.
No, I cut you off.
Yeah, which is okay. That's fine.
I'd like to hear about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
later.
Get in here in a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got we don't have anybody coming in behind us, Kyle, so we can do what we want.
That's freedom. Freedom.
Stardom.
Yep.
We're there.
Yep.
All right, so you got Chiefs upsetting New England.
I do. Okay. I really, truly do.
So Kyle says, and I say...
You're going to say Patriots.
Well, I hate to. I want the Chiefs to win. I just don't know if they will or not.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to side with you just because I want it to happen.
You're a good man.
Just,
Yep.
And then plus I want to keep you around for a little while.
I knew you'd see it my way.
So then Ravens, Colts, who you got?
So I think you got to go Ravens there, just coupled with their defense. Jacoby Brissett has been pretty awesome for backup quarterback that stepped in and has become a starting quarterback. He plays a lot like Ben Roethlisberger, a young Ben Roethlisberger. But that Colts defense is solid too. So
it's pretty good, but I just don't see them emerging. I don't.
No, I mean, and this weekend really showed it. No, I don't. You never want to overreact, but the Broncos stink. Like they're not good.
They're not very
They're
good.
not good,
No.
and they only won by 1 point with a legendary.
Missed field goal.
No, well, out of Vinatieri, though, was also pretty legendary to hit that 51-yarder.
Yeah.
But yeah, they missed that field, which was Flacco is not happy.
So, Ravens versus Chiefs, and I believe if it ended today, the Ravens would host.
Yes, they would, and I think I have to stick with my guns, and I still think the Chiefs are going to make the Super Bowl. I honest to goodness believe that. I really think that they could make the Super Bowl.
So you got the Chiefs.
Yep.
Okay? All right. So let's look at the NFC, and then we'll figure it out.
Yes.
There. Okay. So which division are you going first?
Probably the East.
Okay. So
And we'll go. So we got Cowboys at 4-3,
Okay.
Eagles at 4-4, and then you have the Giants and the Redskins. Giants are 2-6.
Redskins.
Washington's 1-7. Then you have the Niners.
Okay. Wait a minute.
I'm
We
sorry?
got NFC West.
NFC West.
Okay. 49ers.
Niners, the second undefeated team.
And it's what are they 8-0?
7-0. 7-0.
Okay. Rams.
Seahawks at 6-2.
Oh, Seahawks. Okay.
Yes.
The Rams are what?
Rams are 5-3. And then you have the Cardinals at 3-4-1. And I really do think you can make the argument that is the most competitive division in the league this year.
What are the Cardinals?
3-4-1.
Okay. All right, and then we got
And then you have the NFC North.
NFC North. Okay. Packers.
You got Packers at 7-1.
Boo. Okay.
You got the
Two.
Vikes at 6-2. Vikings.
Okay.
The Lions at 3-1. And the Bears, which I want to talk about them for a second,
Yeah.
are 3-4.
Okay, and then we'll get back to the Bears. So that's NFC North.
North, yes.
And then the South.
And then the South, you have the Saints at 7-1. The Panthers at 4-3. The Bucks at 2-5. And the Falcons, the lowly Falcons, at 1-7.
Is he what's his name? Gonna keep his job?
I don't even know. Can't even remember the coach's
Smith or
name right
something,
now.
isn't it?
But yeah, you're right.
Okay, so if it ended today, what are they? They're 1 and what? 1-6.
Yes.
Something like
So you got the
Dallas.
Dallas. You got Green Bay.
49ers, Packers, and Saints.
So season ends today. You have the Niners and the Packers as your
Bye is Niners and Packers as the bye teams. So Dallas would host. Let's see. They would host. Oh wait, we got to get our
wild cards would be
Vikings
and Seahawks.
and Seahawks. Wow. Okay. So they're both at 5-2, 6. So let's say Dallas hosts Vikings.
Okay. Ooh,
And-
that's a good game right there.
And then
You'd have the Seahawks. I'm sorry. You'd have
Saints. No, wait. Oh, wait.
no. You'd have the Seahawks and the who's the other division winner that we miss?
Well,
Saints.
yeah,
Oh no, it's okay.
Saints and Niners, right?
Yeah.
They're
No,
both
no.
7-1.
It'd be Saints and who did we say?
Well,
Saints and
initially we had Niners and Packers because
Saints and Seahawks.
Saints and Seahawks.
Yep.
Well, you can't because the 49ers are undefeated, right?
Right. So the
they're
Niners would have the bye, and then the Packers would have the bye.
Okay, so we got that right.
Yes.
So Dallas would host the Vikings, and then the other division winner, which would
It's
be
the Saints,
the Saints would host
the Seahawks.
the Seahawks.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So round 1, Vikings, Cowboys. I think Dallas wins that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And then Saints versus Seahawks. I think the Saints.
I think. Yes, I think the Saints.
Okay. So then your second round game.
You know what? I think the Seahawks though. I struggle because
I don't.
Drew Brees is old, and Russell Wilson is playing as good as he has.
Maybe.
So that's just my opinion.
But I think that first you're playing in New Orleans, and you've got Sean Payton, who arguably is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Sure.
So I'm going to give the edge to the quarterback and to the coach.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
you can stick to what I'm going to go with that. So,
okay.
So let's just say we can make arguments for both sides. So Niners would host the team with the worst record of that group, which would be
it would actually be the Cowboys.
So Niners host the Cowboys.
Classic matchup right there.
And that should be an NFC title game.
And then you have the Packers
hosting
the Seahawks or the Saints. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Niners versus Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Cowboys still. But let's talk about that Niners defense though. That Niners defense with Nick Bosa.
They're pretty
good. Unreal.
They're pretty good. He's
and
like
their
a one-man
offense
show.
is clicking with Jimmy Garoppolo. Tevin Coleman had 4 touchdowns.
They're
this weekend.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think they are too. But you got to think Dak in his contract season. You just got to believe.
So, first of all, I can't pick this game because you know that I'm going to go and say Cowboys are going to do what they always do, which is they win a playoff game and then they have the fall aparts.
Yep.
If they could ever get to – now, it hasn't mattered in the past, but if they could ever get to that second-round game at home, because in years past, if they win their first game, they're always the second game on the road. Now, when they've had the bye in 2007 and 2014, they were the number 1 team, and they still lost. They lost in that divisional championship or divisional round game. So my pessimism for the Cowboys tells me, so I'm going to let you pick that.
Okay, definitively,
yeah,
I will say the Cowboys.
Okay, so Cowboys win that game.
And a part of that is sticking with my guns a little bit. Now, my opinion has changed who I think will be in the Super Bowl since, but my pick was Chiefs Cowboys at the beginning of this season. But I think the Packers win that next game.
So you think Packers beat Saints?
Yes, and I think the Packers will beat the Cowboys.
Okay. So we've got Packers versus Chiefs.
That's my and that is what I have kind of noticed watching that game this weekend, being there for Packers Chiefs, which was incredible. 2 fan bases that were great. We had, any NFL game you have some suspect fans.
Yeah.
In fact, some of them I was frustrated with, but overall, the people we actually were able to tailgate with after the game, loved it. Great time. But watching that game, those 2 teams are incredible to me. And I think that once Patrick Mahomes gets healthy, he is going to absolutely roll through the playoffs with that offense and play the Packers. And I think the Packers are the team to beat this year. Rodgers is playing as good as he ever has.
I don't agree with hardly any of your scenarios in the NFC. I pretty much kind of agree with the AFC, but maybe it's because I can't stand the Packers. Me
neither. I can't stand them either. I told my dad leaving the stadium as fans were chanting "Go Pack Go" on our home turf, which just hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Dad, I don't think I can. I didn't think I could hate the Packers any more than I do.
Yeah.
Because also being a Bears fan, and it turns out that I absolutely can't hate the Packers more than I do. So, but anyway, that pains me to say, but Aaron Rodgers with Matt LaFleur, to me, that's the MVP, and that's the coach of the year right now.
Well,
Actually, I probably have to take that back. I think Kyle Shanahan's probably the coach of the year for the Niners. But
Maybe
Matt LaFleur is close with him.
I don't know if I totally agree with you. MVP maybe. Gosh, it's so up in the air.
So
coach of the year, I'd probably say Sean Payton, but I'm not disagreeing that the other two. I mean, how about who's the coach of the Bills, for crying out loud?
Doug Marrone.
Yeah, I mean, why is he not in that conversation? Or maybe the
'cause
Colts.
the schedule.
Frank
Reich. Yeah,
I mean, look what he's done. He lost his star quarterback.
that's the Patrick Ewing theory there for sure. That you lose your best player and then all of a sudden you're still good.
Let's go back to the NFC for a second. So, I actually think it will probably. I mean, just call me. It won't be the Cowboys. I can tell you that for a fact. But who I hope I see in the NFC Championship game, which I don't even know if it's possible, which the Cowboys have to lose that first-round game, and I don't see them losing that first-round game, but I would like to see the Saints and Vikings hook up in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, again, for that replay of the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
The Vikings have looked good on offense, which is wild at the beginning of the season or even 3 weeks ago, where you had people that were so frustrated with Kirk Cousins and all of that. Is there any team that maybe could sneak in that?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is kind of on the outside looking in right now.
Let's say in the NFC. Let's go back and look at them.
Okay.
So in the NFC or AFC.
Okay.
Anybody
AFC?
that sneaks in.
I mean.
Are you talking about that's out of the playoffs that right now?
Right now, that would be out. That may be in. The only thing that I can think of. There might be a couple that
Texans are in.
Texans are in. The Jaguars?
Maybe, but I don't see it.
Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, I love him.
He's awesome. He really is. The other team that people are going to probably think that I'm a little crazy, the Chargers.
That's what I was just going to say.
The Chargers scare me.
Yeah.
I think that maybe I was even a couple weeks ago thinking that it might be a cakewalk for the Chiefs, that you could even see the Chiefs go 9-7 and still make the playoffs, but the Chargers may go 9-7. Well, I think that you'll see both those wild card teams that get in are both 9-7.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Oakland yet.
I don't either, but I trust the Chargers kind of to come back with with Melvin Gordon and Keenan Allen and those guys. They have enough weapons coupled with their defense. The problem is they don't have any home field advantage on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's true.
On a weekly basis, which is
terrible.
Stinks. It's not good.
So, AFC biggest disappointment.
The biggest disappointment. Browns.
Yeah. No
Brownies.
kidding. Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody had him pegged with Odell Beckham Jr. Making the playoffs
They were going to make the playoffs and probably the AFC Championship game if you're listening
to. Our former co-host.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, Major.
Had them winning the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and MVP and all that other stuff.
Uh-huh.
They may not even, their coach may not make it to the end of the year, which I think would be
Baker
a mistake.
Looks bigger. Oh, that's like he looks like he got a gut, but I don't know.
That's all them pads he wears, probably.
Be.
Yeah. Well, it's married life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. That is, as much as it pains me, his commercials are pretty good.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty good.
Yeah. Not as good as Patrick Mahomes with
Mahomes.
Which, by the way, another side note: as I'm driving into Kansas City, that man is on almost every billboard.
Well, of course.
You watch TV, and he is on every local commercial.
Of course.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
Yeah. Anyway, so biggest disappointment in the NFC. It's clear to me.
The Eagles.
That's a good one, actually.
Or the Bears.
The Bears to me. The Bears.
Talk about your Bears.
I could go on a rant for days.
What's going on there?
The Bears.
I haven't been paying much attention other than just losing.
Matt Nagy, I do kind of have a kind of beef with him. Is that, man, he's just kind of seems like not a guy that I'd like to hang out with. He seems rough around the edges. His frustration right now is like shining through, and you know that your leader, like when your leader. When the ship is going down, when it's sinking, the best thing that you can do for the crew around you is to be calm. And right now, Matt Nagy is not holding any composure. He's short with the media right now. Not that the media is the greatest thing in the world, but they cannot get a thing going on offense.
Yeah, they're having a lot of...
Finally, they decided to run the ball with David Montgomery this week, and you saw him, he rolled. He played a pretty good game. So they finally got the offense going a little bit, but Mitch Trubisky, I mean, what they spent a second-round pick on Mitch Trubisky to only see Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes go after him. I know it's killing Bears fans right now, that the fact that they're watching those two maybe future Hall of Famers if they're to continue in this trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
It's killing Bears fans. And their defense is playing great still, and they're just having if they had even half of, the Kansas City offense, they would just be tearing teams apart right now.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my rant.
Well, I mean, I could probably give you one for the Cowboys, and theoretically, I think when we talked last, we were talking about the Dallas Sunday night game against the Eagles, and if you recall, I said when their backs are up against the wall on Sunday night, they have a tendency to look pretty sharp, and they just blew the Eagles away. I mean, the defense was just like, where did that come from?
That was wild to me, and so it's like that's why I kind of I'm still thinking the Cowboys are who they thought we would.
Well, we'll see, because you still got the Jason Garrett factor, and those who have listening to me for the first time, Cowboys could be 16-0 and just the best team in the world, and somehow in the first round, Jason Garrett would get out coached.
You're still a little nervous.
Not nervous. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, it's just fact. I mean, I got track record is tall as the ceiling on Jason Garrett in his failures, and
just not a Jason Garrett guy.
No, I'm not. The only coach with a grain of salt they've had in there since Jimmy Johnson retired was Bill Parcells.
Why does it seem to me that, I mean, and I think we've talked about this before, he just has no backbone to me.
Jason Garrett?
Yeah, he just...
I don't know if it's a backbone. It's the fact what kills him is, and where he loses respect with his team, and I'm just speaking out of opinion, is he absolutely doesn't have a clue how to manage a football game.
No,
no clue.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it looks like he's had a deer in the headlights look on his face for 6 years now, half a decade or more.
He took over the team midway point of 2010. It's almost 10 years.
It's almost 10 years.
Yeah,
that's mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
that team has been so mediocre, and on times in the past 10 years, on the cusp of
greatness,
something good,
greatness.
And Jason Garrett is still your head coach. That's unbelievable to me.
Well, you got to understand Jerry Jones, and Jerry, to fire him, would have to admit that he was wrong. And he's going to give him every breath. And I promise you, as I'm sitting here telling you, if they get to the playoffs and they win a game, he's going to keep his job another year.
Do you really think so?
Yes, absolutely. Because Jerry's going to say, we came close, and we're only that far away. And guess what? I'm still the number one franchise in the world, and I still sell more tickets than anybody, and I still sell more merchandise than anybody. Why on earth would I fire him?
He is just like it's like Major League Baseball, like owner. Like it's just. We're just okay with being okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
but
okay, we're okay with that.
When you're having the financial success that he's having, why? I mean, I'm not sure I would make that kind of change. I mean, why would you? If you make a change, you run the risk, because Jason Garrett's just as good enough of a coach to be competitive, okay, and give fans hope. But if he switches coaches, he runs the risk of going 3-13, and then the bottom falls out because I ain't going to that game, and there so I just think that he's like, Jason, and I'm not necessarily. It's kind of like the Mike Gundy saga. I mean, if you let if you fire Mike Gundy or Mike Gundy goes to another coaching job or he retires or whatever, because he's a man.
Right. He's 50 now.
He's 50-something. You run the risk of going through mediocrity, or even worse, you run the risk of having a really successful coach that stays for 2 years and then leaves.
But I don't see that with the Cowboys. I see that with the Oklahoma State Cowboys because, I mean,
no, you wouldn't lose them at Dallas, but who are you going to get to run through that gauntlet of Jerry Jones?
That's the thing. It's like, who's going to, yeah. I mean, I think of it like this way, though. I mean, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers could never get along for the past, at least since they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Cannot get along at all. That is happening with multiple people on the Cowboys roster.
Yeah.
You have seen new life happen with Aaron Rodgers this year and Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
It took him a couple weeks to get the ball rolling a little bit. Like,
you know what? You keep talking, I'm gonna throw up.
Why is that?
Because you're talking about the Packers.
I've been talking about the Packers.
And you got a new coach who's having success, and I've got the same football coach in Dallas that's just mediocre.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, the Cowboys' job is still one that people would want.
I don't know if they would.
I mean, maybe that's true, but there's got to be somebody that's like, hey, I'm going to take care of this spotlight, and we're going to go.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I even think that you'd see coaches jump ship for that job.
So would Lincoln Riley leave OU for the Dallas job?
That's a great question. I want him out of OU, so. but I mean, that is that. But I am not a fan of the college coach jumping into the NFL.
It generally doesn't.
It usually doesn't pan out.
No. There's only a handful that's ever been successful.
Yeah, and Lincoln Riley to me would be a fool to leave that job. Like, I wouldn't leave a Power 5 blue blood.
Probably not.
Even though the Cowboys are the Cowboys, but we've seen that.
You're going to make more money in college. The only thing I see that might intrigue him is recruiting is brutal.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yes.
And you'd be fighting Jerry on who to draft would be your battle.
And I don't know. I mean, I think that he could because he has an innovative enough offense to go in there. I don't know. Like I think he might have a great first season actually. Like to me, he's a better coach than Cliff Kingsbury, right?
Who?
He's got to be Lincoln Riley.
Oh,
he's a way better coach.
Oh, yes.
He's a way better coach than
Yes, I thought you were going to say
Kingsbury?
Jason Garrett. And it's a tough one.
His offense is more innovative than Cliff Kingsbury. Why wouldn't Lincoln Riley have success in the NFL, though?
I mean, you would think that he would, but you also thought Nick Saban would.
That's exactly right. That's where I get hung up. It's like the greatest college football coach of all time could not do it in the NFL.
I don't know. I mean, you've had several fail. I mean, Pete Carroll failed the first try.
Yeah.
He was, the Jets were like 2-14 when he was coaching. So, I don't know. I mean, we were probably just speculating anyway because I don't know if he'd be crazy enough to take that job. But, I mean, that's a question is if they don't make the playoffs, because I think that's the only way that saves his job. Well, he could make the playoffs and lose in the first round. He'd probably lose.
I think he'd be gone. They got to win a playoff game.
But who do you reach out to?
Do you think Sean McVay would come over from L.A.?
No, I don't. I don't know if there's an NFL coach in the league right now as a head coach that would take that job.
Jump over.
Maybe somebody who's been an assistant, Josh McDaniel perhaps, or Josh Daniel, whatever his name is, perhaps, or some assistant that's under Sean McVay or Bill Belichick or whatever. Although Belichick's assistants haven't been that good.
Not against him. No, Matt Patricia's looked good this year.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, like Romeo Crennel.
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss.
Not so good.
Not so good.
Of course.
Anywhere else.
Yeah.
I loved having Romeo Crennel as a defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. They're just coordinators. But, yeah I mean, oh, my gosh. You know what's kind of scary is that, I mean, doesn't immediately if Belichick does decide to retire after this year or something, which he's going to die in that Patriots cutoff anyway.
He's 67 years old. He hasn't even indicated he's ready
No,
to
he's
quit.
not going to. And he's probably going to win another dadgum Super Bowl
I
this
hope
year.
not.
Like,
I think that the NFL, sometimes my conspiracy theorist thing isn't proven, because if they were involved, why do they continue to let the Patriots be as good as they are? Because I think it loses fans. I think
they let the
I mean, I think it does.
So, I mean, wouldn't that debunk any idea of them, the conspiracy theory then?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I just think it but then I look at what I think the NFL's done to Dallas over the last 25 years, and of course, Jerry's been just about as disruptive as the Patriots in their stealing signs and listening in on the headsets and all that other stuff. So and Deflategate and all that. So
speaking of fixing games, to get on a tangent a little bit, Tim Donaghy has a movie coming out about his life. The crooked referee in the NBA that got caught for fixing games about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
got a movie coming out tomorrow. Did an interview with on the Pat McAfee show last week. Incredible.
What's the name of it?
I can't remember the name of the movie. I'll try to figure it out.
Okay. It's coming out when?
Coming out this Friday.
Oh, I need to go see it.
But he talks about the fact that, and of course he's in jail or was in jail, so it's hard to take him at face value.
Yeah.
But he talks about how much the NBA is still fixed.
Well, I believe that too.
And I think the NBA actually officiating changes the changes the outcome with the referees the most. You could
totally agree.
The referees
totally
can
agree.
literally manufacture points.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna, and again here I go with my homerism.
Yeah.
But 2000 whatever it was, the Thunder wins the first round game in the NBA Finals against the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
And just throttles LeBron James. Throttles him.
Right.
And everybody's going, oh my gosh, Thunder's really good. They're going to win this thing. And then it's every time LeBron got the ball, there was a foul.
Right, yes.
It's what happened? It was playing the same game.
It is. To me, it's they can absolutely change the course of the outcome. And you have the higher-ups saying, hey, we need to keep this game close.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this game close, or hey, we need to call it in their favor because we need more rating. We need to get
another game.
We
need to go back. We need to go back to the other city for a seat.
There's no coincidence in the NBA that we haven't seen a 4-game sweep in. I don't even know how long. I can't remember the last time there's a 4-game sweep.
Can Houston close out tonight?
They can. So we got a 2-2 ball game right now with Houston.
Anyway. Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been a student of basketball since I was in junior high, and I was, those who don't know it, I was an athletic trainer all through junior high, high school, and college, and I sit there and used to watch referees, and maybe it's just coincidence because I'm going to get myself in trouble with my referee friends.
Yes,
but it just seemed it's how can a game change that much that quickly?
I totally, with the NBA, I have no problem saying they're fixing games. That might seem a little confident, but I am 100% certain.
Yeah.
There's just too many coincidences going on there, in my opinion.
Okay, so Chiefs Packers, who wins?
Well,
he's going to say the Chiefs. He's going to say the Chiefs. He's going to say the Chiefs. He's going to say the Chiefs.
I watching the game this weekend.
It'd be a rematch, wouldn't it?
Rematch.
So it has to be the Chiefs because it's a rematch with Mahomes and they win.
With Patrick Mahomes in there, if the defense can keep up their intensity, and I'm not saying that it's good defense, but we sacked Aaron Rodgers 5 times.
You better hope you have a 3-score lead with the last 3 minutes because that'll be one thing the NFL will make sure. Oh, you better, Oh my gosh. Because nationwide, more fans are Chiefs or Packers. Nationwide, what do you think?
Packers.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you're getting some notoriety or some traction with Patrick Mahomes becoming a transcendent star because you're seeing him on TV commercials and stuff like that. We're not quite there yet at being we're the loudest fan base, that's for sure.
Well, it's
142.2 decibels, baby.
So I've always kind of thought that the NFL manufactures the same way. Whoever they're marketing is the teams that they want in the Super Bowl. Well, guess what?
We got Chiefs, Packers everywhere.
You got Mahomes
right now.
and Aaron Rodgers doing commercials together for crying out loud.
Okay, so did you watch the game on Sunday night?
Some of
at
it.
all?
Some of it.
All right, take a guess how many times they showed Patrick
that
Mahomes.
State Farm commercial?
No. Guess how many times they panned to show Patrick Mahomes on the sideline.
I saw probably a dozen.
40 times. Which
Imagine
I told
that.
my brother-in-law, I'm like, I can't imagine how many times they're showing Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. And sure enough, 40 times they showed him on the sideline.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So, I don't know if I totally agree with Kyle's Super Bowl prediction. I would say I would love to see the Packers in there, but my fear is it's going to be Chiefs in there. My fear it's going to be Patriots.
Would you go Packers?
I might tend to go with the Saints, but I don't see the 40. I'm sorry, 49er fans, and if you got teams that you hate like the Packers, mine are kind of rolling. Anybody in the NFC East. But I've kind of changed that through the years because I absolutely love Peterson with the Eagles and Carson Wentz.
Sure, yeah.
And just their story. But the Redskins, the Packers, the Patriots,
the Niners.
That's my go-hate teams.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So the Niners, though, are a young football team.
they are, and they're going to be good.
They are going to be good.
But I don't see them making a Super Bowl.
No, Nick Bosa, to me...
So
Nick Bosa could make the argument already for Defensive Player of the Year and MVP.
One team we've kind of left out of this that didn't make our playoffs but could end up making the playoffs.
Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't count them out.
I just don't believe in Jared Goff and Todd Gurley being healthy the whole season. So
if they're not healthy, then there's no way.
No.
But if they're healthy, they get their feet under them, so to speak.
Cooper Kupp, man, what a game he had. Over 220 yards on Thursday Night Football. That was nuts.
Okay, so that's our NFL preseason or mid-season review. We kind of need to look quickly at college
football, yes.
Can you pull up the top 25? And then what we're going to do is we're gonna do our overvalued, undervalued money, and then we're gonna have our predictions for next week.
So you had the top 5 games that we were thinking about.
Yeah, for predictions.
You're just saying straight top 25.
25
right? Gotcha.
NCAA, because we need to do our preseason, who we think our Final Four are, because it kind of changed.
I don't even know.
I mean,
Nationals just pulled ahead.
Uh-oh.
The solo home run.
So I would say, just based on thought process right now, Final Four teams. First of all, let me have this discussion. Does anybody believe that LSU and Alabama, if one beats the other, that the other doesn't?
No, I think that they're
both getting in.
They're both getting in.
Unless one of them to lose 2 games.
Yeah, but also those are the 2 best teams in the country to me.
Yeah.
It's undisputed that they're the 2 best teams in the country.
So then that leaves Ohio State, Clemson. Let's just say for all intended purposes that OU's out.
Okay.
Is there anybody else that really has? I mean, yes, there are, but
so you have LSU, Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, Penn State, Florida, Oregon.
None of those teams are getting in.
Nope. Utah.
Nope.
Oklahoma.
Maybe, but it's something. A lot of stuff's going to have to happen.
Auburn.
No,
Baylor?
They got 2 losses.
Baylor.
Well, that's a good question.
Minnesota?
I don't see it happening. Okay, so let's talk about Minnesota. So when the season started, I said my Cinderella team, look out, PJ Flick and the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Yes.
And a couple weeks ago when we were on the show, I said, well, PJ Flick's such a great motivator. He's got them believing they can win, but his style makes it kind of seem like, yeah, maybe they think I can win, but they start playing some really good teams. Then they go, they start questioning themselves. But the more I read about Minnesota, and I've watched them really close the last 2 weeks, they're good.
They are good.
They're fast. They're fundamentally strong. And PJ Flick is a smart guy.
They have Iowa coming up, and they have Wisconsin coming up,
and Penn State.
It's gonna be their bulk of their schedule is backloaded, and you'll have to face that, and then you'll also
have to if they win those, they got to play.
They got to go play Ohio State
in the Okay, so let's just say
if they win those games,
they getting in?
Yes, absolutely. If they win those 4
you know what?
games,
I bet you they don't.
You say it. Well,
okay, so
we probably will never know.
Well, we probably won't.
Yes,
but I would love for it to be a topic because Alabama, LSU, Clemson.
Yeah, but it's just because they have an M on the side of their helmet and we haven't seen it before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is not a blue blood, and so they're not going to be a top 5.
That's the reason they're not getting in.
That's the only reason. But they are.
Does Baylor get in if they win out?
No,
you put Baylor and Minnesota in the same category, right?
Yeah, that's why we need a 6-team, 8-team playoff.
I think both those teams can win out and neither one gets in.
Let's do this. Let's do a 10-game regular season and just do March Madness.
I'm 16 teams.
Yeah, it should for real be 16 teams.
Yep.
Or 8 teams.
16
teams is every division below in college football is a 8-team playoff.
How many conferences are there?
5 that matter.
Yeah, but you got to include the. So do you include like all these American Athletic Conference?
I think you could. I think you could. I think you could include maybe the
Tulsa. If they win. They win. Tulane.
Couldn't you do? You could do technically like you could get 8 conferences. You could do some restructuring. Just say, hey, this is how it's going to be.
Like NFL.
Yes, this is how it's going to be. Our conferences are going to be restructured now. I
That'll
know
never happen.
No, because they're their own
TV.
individual entities that are making lots of money.
TV.
But in a perfect world, we're going to restructure this. There's no way that Rutgers needs to be in the Big 12 or Big 10. Like, why? You know. So do some gerrymandering.
We're 30 years away from that ever happening.
Okay.
So the debate that I have, and I need you to give me a compelling argument that if Minnesota and Baylor win out, how do you justify that one of those teams, or even both of them, aren't in?
You cannot justify to me Minnesota.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Baylor.
That they shouldn't be. Absolutely, Minnesota should be in.
Because look at the resume.
I know if they win these next 3 games plus a game against Ohio State, you're talking 4 ranked teams in a row. Of course they should be in. I really do think that. I think with the Big 12 though, with Baylor, you have everybody's kind of beating each other up a little bit this year.
Well, plus they're definitely not going to have the same resume as if Minnesota.
No.
Because they're going to have beat Wisconsin, Iowa, and Ohio State, and Penn State.
Yes.
Which are all top 10 teams or around
top
15
Iowa's
teams.
a top 20 or should be they're a top 20 team.
Between Penn State and Ohio State, you got basically 2 top 5 teams, right?
Yeah.
So the thing, okay, so here's the question. Let's say Minnesota gets bumped, then LSU, Alabama, Clemson, then who bumps them? Because they win the Big Ten.
That's when the committee has to say, hey, and this is my opinion, but I still think we should go. Like, it's wild to me that I'm like, why can't we have some sort of unbiased thing, like a computer system that puts all of these things together? I am longing for the days of the BCS. Because it takes all of this out.
I don't know if I agree, because I saw Oklahoma State get jacked out of a national
I
championship
understand
game,
that, but that was with 2 teams. They would have been in the national championship for sure.
Yeah, if you kept the BCS ranking system and
Yeah.
used the, let's just say, I'm almost be halfway tempted to be okay with 8 teams if you were ranking them
Yeah. It
in
was
the
always
BCS, not having somebody pick them based on the logo on the side of
Right.
their helmet. Because that's what's going on right now.
But that's, I mean, back in the day, you saw you saw the University of South Florida Bulls that they made their way up to number 2 in the country
Yeah.
because it was unbiased. You don't have that Notre Dame, logo, or you know what I mean, like
The glitter.
yeah. I really do believe that we've kind of moved backwards in the way that we do rankings. So
Anytime you have a selection committee, you're going to have that.
yes,
So
yes, because money's involved.
yeah.
I mean, that's a reality. UCF, to me, UCF would have absolutely been ranked in that Final Four game with the BCS rankings.
You think so?
I really do believe that. Like, that's just my opinion. I think that if you had the BCS and you to put a top 8 teamer in there, we would, and you'd still have the debate going around. You're always going to have a debate no matter what, who's going to be in.
How is
Doesn't
Baylor
matter.
ranked 13th? I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, they're 13th. They're behind Baylor. I mean, don't even have the resume that, or Baylor doesn't even have the resume that Minnesota has now. So I don't know. I mean, are they, that's almost, well, anyway, I don't want to get all jacked up on it. But I just think that Minnesota's going to have a hard time getting in there if they're undefeated. Now, if everybody starts having one loss, let's put it this way. Does a one-loss let's say one of those teams like LSU or Alabama doesn't play in the Southeast Conference Championship game, Baylor or Minnesota goes undefeated and wins their conference, does that one-loss SEC conference school go over
I don't
Baylor
know,
or Minnesota?
Because to me, I will always make the argument that the SEC is not as great as maybe the media puts it out there,
as they think they are.
because of the head-to-head that you see in bowl games. Like, if you're really thinking that the SEC is head and shoulders above everybody else, then shouldn't they be wiping the floor during those bowl games with every other conference?
And they're not.
They are not.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
Well,
in my opinion, if I am on that committee,
Yeah.
I say Bama, and we got some thunder
you have
here.
some thunder. Not the Oklahoma City
Bama,
Thunder.
Bama, LSU, you guys played ahead. Loser, you had your chance. You had your chance. Sorry. You should not get rewarded for not playing
agree.
in a champion.
I agree.
Not playing in an SEC
I agree.
championship game.
But in 2011,
That's what happened.
that's what happened. 'Cause,
So,
of course, Oklahoma State lost to Iowa State, but
Right.
they should have took into consideration of what happened, because the night before they had 4 people from their program get killed in that
right,
plane crash,
right.
and oh yeah, but they're Oklahoma State. So if that would have been OU, they'd have got in.
Sure,
It'd been Texas,
Sure.
they'd have got in.
sure.
So anyway,
Anyway, that's
so your Final Four right now. Let's just say all kicks and giggles.
yeah.
and
I don't. I mean, now is about the time that you can finally make your form opinions. Like
Yeah.
it takes me this long
Yeah.
to really see because
Yeah.
there's so many teams in the NCAA. But I think
realistically speaking, all said and done.
I think the top 4 that you see right now, LSU, Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, are
I
the
agree.
top 4.
Right now, I'd agree. If you ended the season today,
Yes.
do you see anything changing in 8 weeks?
It just depends on the Bama LSU game. Who
And what happens
gets
in the Big Ten?
Yeah, there's just a lot of
Because Penn State could be better than all of them.
correct. There's a lot of what ifs still because we have head-to-head games going on.
So where's going to be another argument is
Florida.
let's say you have a one-loss SEC, a undefeated SEC, a one-loss Big Ten, and an undefeated Big Ten.
It seems like the waters are muddied more than
Pretty much. But we have this discussion every.
It does. I don't know. It does. But it's still early in the season. We'll be able to put the whole picture together when the whole picture is painted.
When's the playoff rankings come out? When does that happen?
I think this week.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see how the committee looks at it. All right. So, are you ready for overvalued, undervalued?
Yeah.
Okay,
oh gosh, I still didn't.
Did you think of any more
no.
time?
Here we go. So
okay. All right. Here we go.
Overvalued, undervalued, or money. Let's see.
Don't throw me a curve.
I'm not throwing you a curve. I'm just trying to think, because you didn't really put me on the spot, but I didn't really.
You think about it.
Really take the time because you're really good at this.
Yeah.
So overvalued, undervalued, or money.
And so I'll let you think about it. I'll tell.
Sure.
So this is a segment where we could pick a player, coach, entertainer, team, at whether they are overvalued, which means they're worth more than what they think they are or what everybody else thinks they are, undervalued, which is like nobody gives them any credit or respect, or their money. In other words, they're earning their money or they're every bit as good as everybody says they are, or maybe even better. So that's our segment, and it is something that we create. We may have to patent that or something.
Yeah.
So what I do is ask, which in the last 3 episodes, I've asked Kyle, and we generally do 3, but if that crunches you up, we'll do 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, 1. I'm working on it. I
Okay.
got it. I'm just thinking here.
Give it, mention a name, and then or a person or a team or an entertainer or whatever, overvalued, undervalued, or money.
Okay.
And in the past, he's done it, and this I kind of threw him a curve this week. So you know what? You ask me, and I'll evaluate.
Okay. So the first one.
Okay, here we go. Here it comes.
James Harden.
Overvalued, undervalued, or money? I'm going to say at this point he is overvalued.
All right, give me a little bit of explanation.
What's he done? Why. What's he done in the playoffs?
Playoffs.
I mean, the same year that the Thunder fell apart in the playoffs, James Harden did not show up. Didn't show up.
No, you're right.
And he really, he's a really good basketball player, but he's not a superstar basketball player. And he's not in the same league as Russell Westbrook or Kevin Durant or LeBron James or I can't think of the three-point shooter from
Steph Curry.
Or even some other players that may not as much notoriety. He's a good ball. He's not a great leader, I don't think, and he's overvalued.
All right, I'll go with that.
Okay.
All right. Here's one.
Okay.
And we might have to call an audible here.
Okay.
If you've never been to this place.
Okay.
In-N-Out Burger.
Actually have been to In-N-Out Burger.
Okay.
In Las Vegas.
All right. Been there too. Been to that one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good. I've been known to be like a food snob.
Yeah. Me too. That's why I asked. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, overvalued.
Overvalued.
Yeah. Burgers are kind of hard to. It's kind of like breakfast. It's hard to mess up. And I kind of like the greasy. I grew up I grew up in a small town in Texas where a hamburger was, on a flat grill with the grease, flowing around it, and the melted cheese and the mustard and onion and the pickle and the lettuce. And I actually thought somebody was trying to poison me when we came from Texas and moved to Oklahoma, and they were putting mayonnaise and ketchup on a burger.
I do that, which I didn't. Mayonnaise was not a thing on my burger, and
I will literally throw up.
I have assimilated to that, and I like mayo on my burger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
No, it's sports either.
Okay. Hit me.
Aerosmith.
Oh. Money. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not a big Steven Tyler fan,
right.
but I love their music because it goes back to my day as a youth.
Yeah.
And there's still, I mean, when you hear Aerosmith, you go, yeah. I mean, there's like, I'm going to kind of give my age here, but there's probably 3 or 4 bands or singers that when I hear, I'm like, oh, can't. And some of them might shock you. I'll give you like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band is way there. You want to talk about undervalued, overrated money? Way undervalued.
Oh, big time.
Super undervalued.
Book of Dreams, one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kansas.
Okay.
Carry On Wayward Son, Dust in the Wind. Yeah, great story, by the way. On I can't remember what station, what TV channel does it, but they do the rock. Some of the entertainers and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Their story, very biblical, by the way.
Very cool.
Yeah, very good. Boston.
Boston's a great band. That was one of my dad's favorite bands growing up, and that was passed along to me as well.
And this one will probably really surprise you. Elvis Presley.
I knew you loved Elvis, though.
I'm a big Elvis fan. So Aerosmith, kind of in that category,
Really?
Dream On is one. It's when I've done events in the past, the youth events that I've conducted. One of the bumper musics I use is Dream On.
Dream On, Dream On, Dream On, Dream On. Yeah.
So anyway, that's 3.
That was 3.
I'm not doing more than that.
No. No. Were those okay for you?
Yeah, those are good. Good job. Not bad on the fly. I think we'll rotate that every segment.
Oh, I think so too. I think that's good. And I'll have to think about it pregame. But I love the food ones. Those are
the food ones.
Those are great.
And we may have to fall in the line of this was a couple of years ago. Mike Keybone, which is you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Pastor at Cherokee Hills Baptist Church. He's dedicated almost a half a show to food in Oklahoma City.
I could absolutely do that.
We may have to end up doing remotes from these places we can talk about them and like, hey,
Empire Slice.
Yeah,
you need a podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a podcast over there. But I've kind of pride myself in going to different places and trying out. And I did that when I was on vacation, by the way. So went to Gulf Shores, Alabama on vacation.
Best thing you ate.
So there's a place on the beach in Gulf Shores called Bahama Bob's.
Bahama Bob's.
And fresh fish, obviously, but we ate at several fish places while we were in Alabama.
Yeah.
They fried red snapper and snapper, and I had blackened.
Say no more, man.
Blackened snapper the day before, and it was really good. But the breading they use at Bahama Bob's is like just the
top
bomb,
notch,
just the bomb. And then the coleslaw, which got to be perfected, and the hush puppies, you gotta, that's all got. And
there's nothing like eating.
And then their sauces. I mean, if they don't have really good tartar sauce and cocktail sauce, it's like it enhances the meal.
I'm telling you, there is nothing like seafood is my favorite food, probably.
Good. Yeah.
But it has to be on the beach.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah.
Well, I like a good catfish, but that's not seafood. I mean, that's not really.
If it's good though, yeah.
Yeah.
Shrimp's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Fried shrimp.
Yeah.
And we had the little seasoned steamed shrimp, and they brought out a bowl about the size of a oversized cereal bowl.
Fish tacos, one of my favorite meals.
Fuzzy's shrimp tacos.
Oh, great!
Great
shrimp. So if you want to get local, really. Jessica and I have kind of rated we base kind of our favorite food on shrimp tacos. Yeah. Like for real.
Yeah.
And my favorite shrimp taco is actually Torchy's.
See, I haven't been to Torchy's yet.
Is great.
I haven't been to Torchy's
I'd go Torchy's. I'd actually go Big Truck Tacos, and then I'd go Fuzzy's. But all 3 are top notch.
Fuzzy's is probably one of my wife and I's favorite places to eat.
Oh, it's great. I love Fuzzy's
because it's fresh and it's the service is always good. It's sometimes a little busy, but
hey, I didn't get this way looking at food. That's for sure.
Well, neither did I.
We could do a whole podcast on
Well,
food.
we might have to. Food segment. You know what? We ought to bid it out to a place that wants to come try the food, and we'll just do a podcast there. We might be able to eat our way through fame here.
I have literally thought about doing my own food blog, but food blog from a big guy. Because all these, All of these food bloggers are like
Skinny. Yeah.
And, I don't trust those people.
That's why Keybone's segment was because it was very detailed on how. I mean, he explained the whole. He had you basically visualizing this, like Bobos. I mean, he was going crazy over Bobos. Like, oh my gosh, where is this at?
I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, Mike, if you're listening, we'd love to have you come on as a guest spot. So do a food segment with Mike Keybone.
All three of us just talk about food for an hour.
Food bone. Call it food bone.
Perfect.
All right, so we're going to do 5 college games, 5 pro games, and then we'll probably call it a night.
Yeah,
and
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, and then if you're just tuning in with us, this is a special edition because normally we do our show on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, but Kyle has a previous commitment, and I had already booked head basketball coach at Bethany High School, Quinn Woolridge. So he will be my in-studio special guest Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Tonight is our special edition, so we just kind of threw something together.
Yeah.
We wanted, because we hadn't been
Good
on.
call. I'm glad we did it.
We hadn't done a live show in 12 days.
Yeah,
so we needed to do something.
We missed each other.
We did. So, okay, NFL first.
Okay.
5 games that we're going to pick. And you know what? We're going to kind of have a contest for the rest of the year. You and I. I'm going to keep track of it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We're going to be like Terry Bradshaw on Fox.
Yep.
Or
We'll see how we rank up at the end of the year.
College Game Day.
Yep. And the loser has to buy the other one like an icy or a coffee or something. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a sandwich. Sandwich bet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, so first game, Bears versus Eagles. Eagles are the home team.
I don't trust the Bears at all, so I'm going to go Eagles.
Okay. So Kyle says Eagles. I'm going to say that the Bears win this one.
All right.
Patriots versus Ravens.
Can't stop the Patriots train.
Okay, so Kyle says Patriots. I'm going to say the Ravens
We're going opposite. We're going to see a clear leader.
Something's going to happen here.
Uh-huh.
Colts versus Steelers. At Pittsburgh.
Colts, Steelers. I'm going to say Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I don't see. I love Mason Rudolph, but I just don't see. And they're at home, but he showed some moxie towards the end of the game last night, and he pulled it out. But I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of support, I don't think. All right, and then Vikings Chiefs at Kansas City.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs probably will not win this game.
Ooh.
Which means that they're looking at a 1-4 record at home this year.
It's like unheard of.
It is the toughest place to play still, in my opinion.
It's loud.
It is so loud.
And I just from TV, I texted you Sunday night like, is it as loud as it sounds? And you're saying like your ears are ringing.
They were ringing. It was loud.
That's loud.
And I
for
didn't
pro
have
game.
much of a voice for. Yeah.
So you're picking the Vikings?
I'm picking the Vikings in the hopes that the Chiefs will win.
Well, I'm going to pick the Chiefs.
All right.
All right. Last game, pros. Dallas at Giants Monday Night Football.
Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they lost.
Yeah, we would have picked each other's teams.
Just so you know, Dallas traditionally in the last 20 years have not fared well on Monday night. So do well on Sunday night. Don't do so well on Monday night.
Which is wild because Monday Night Football is not as great as it used to be.
Yeah. Back when they were in their heyday, they hardly ever lost on Monday night.
We need to get rid of Booker.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
So
I don't call for anybody's job, but
end it. All right. So college, West Virginia at Baylor.
I'm gonna go with Baylor. It's gonna be a test, though. I wouldn't just give West Virginia the game.
I'm gonna say West Virginia wins this.
All right.
Florida at Georgia.
Let's go. I think Florida will win that game.
Okay.
I think Florida's got something special going this year.
I'm going with Georgia.
All right.
Okay, here's the border war. Or is that really the border
war?
No,
it's called the border. That is the border war.
Kansas against Kansas State. So any of those don't follow Les Miles and the Kansas Jayhawks. They won their first Big 12 game last week in grand Les Miles fashion. So in case you missed it,
unbelievable.
Yeah, Kansas getting ready to kick a field goal against Texas Tech. It's like a 40-yarder. It gets blocked, but it still goes over the line. So I can't remember the guy's name. Jacob, I think his name was, or Jacobs, picks the ball up for Texas Tech and runs about 5 yards and laterals it back to air.
Nothing.
And Kansas picks it up and gets to re-kick the ball. It gets kicked
1 second left.
1 or 2 seconds, yeah, and wins the game.
Unbelievable.
And they're at Kansas State.
So I'm going to go because I think Kansas State just beat Oklahoma and they're in the fire. I think that they'll I still think Kansas State will win.
I do too, agree.
Yep.
Okay, here's a good one. 7-1 Memphis against 8-0 SMU.
Pony up, baby.
And it's at Memphis.
SMU.
You're going SMU?
I am. Pony Express.
I'm gonna say Memphis.
Because they're gonna be that team right now.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, that they could end up undefeated, and they're not gonna have anything to show for it because the BCS doesn't exist.
All right. So last game for our college predictions: TCU at Oklahoma State.
I think that the Pokes are gonna get a signature win this weekend.
I'm gonna agree with you. So we got a little bit.
They already kind of had one with that.
They had one last week on the road because they were most Oklahoma State fans and as well as the experts said, Iowa State's going to win this handily, and OSU showed some moxie.
I sure didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way for sure.
Yeah.
In that game,
well, being an Oklahoma State fan, you kind of like, well, what team's going to show up? But I mean, I think they'll win this game. They're at home, and they need to play well, and they still have a chance to salvage their season. Although I don't think they're gonna. It's not gonna amount to much because I think they could be 10-1 and get sent to Shreveport. By the way, I went by the what's the bowl? It's not the Liberty Bowl. It's the other one. I can't think of the game. The bowl. Anyway, the stadium where they play the game in Shreveport. We drove by that.
Oh yeah.
Can't think of it. It's not the Liberty Bowl because Liberty Bowl's played in.
It's probably the AutoZone Bowl or something like that.
It's been a traditional bowl for years. What is the name of that bowl? They even have it on the outside, home of the blah blah bowl.
Let's look.
Shreveport, Louisiana. Liberty Bowl's in Memphis.
Yes, that is true. Wait?
It's the. This is going to drive me nuts. It is the
Shreveport Bowl.
No. It's not the Shreveport Bowl.
The Independence Bowl. Independence Liberty.
Bowl.
It's the same.
Yeah, and both OU, and it's like where all Big 12 teams go to die.
That dang.
But I will tell you this: the last year that Nick Saban was not the coach, I think that was the last year, was not the coach at Alabama. OSU beat Alabama in the Independence Bowl.
Hey, I'd drive down to Shreveport with you if the Pokes play in the Independence Bowl. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
What a great show, Dan.
If the Cowboys play the Chiefs next year in Dallas, we got to go.
Oh, for sure.
We got to go.
I would go if they play in KC. It's not that far to drive. It's 5 hours door to door.
It's 3.5.
Yeah, to Dallas.
And the worst traffic on the planet.
Yeah, so to me, maybe it's actually, with traffic, same thing. It's about 5 hours probably with traffic.
Probably.
And then Kansas City is a easy drive. I was up 3 hours before game and didn't have a problem with traffic. Parked in the last row.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
It's great.
You wouldn't have that issue in Dallas. You would have that.
Parking in Dallas is a nightmare.
Every
nightmare
time
at that stadium.
I don't even know if I've been to half a dozen games there in Dallas. Only one to the new stadium, maybe more than that. I've only been to one in the new stadium though, but never have I ever parked. Oh, I take that back. We had a parking pass one year and we did, but always just stay at the hotel, and have them shuttle you in.
We paid because we could not find a close parking spot for a concert that Jessica and I went to, and we had a friend with us as well. We thought it was worth it to pay the $15 per person.
Per person.
Per person on the cart. We're like, There's no way we can get there.
Yeah.
We got cheap parking and then paid for that. I was like, good night. I just do not want to. I had to walk a mile and a half. Didn't pay for it afterwards.
Yeah,
and
mile and
I
a
was
half's
like,
not too bad.
I would pay that $90
Mile and a
round
half's
trip.
not too bad. No. All right. Any closing thoughts? We didn't really do a devotion tonight.
No, we didn't because Thursday's coming, and
Yeah.
I think that is going to be more of a faith-focused, mentoring focus.
Yep.
And again, enjoy your Halloween.
Yeah, you
It'll
too.
be fun.
Yeah, sure.
This has been really fun the past month. It's been a good time for sure.
Yeah. So once again, Faithletic, the podcast. This was a special edition tonight. Generally, our regular show is at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. We will have that show. Special guest, head basketball coach, Bethany High School, Quinn Woolridge will be here in person in our Faith Podcast Sports Palace studio.
That's right.
Is that it?
Faithletic Sports Palace studio.
Yeah,
that's what we said.
there you go. There we go.
Let's go.
Been named.
Come on.
I knew one day the Sports Palace thing would come back to give us riches.
Yes.
All right. You've listened to Faithletic, and we enjoy coming to you, and we thank you for listening. And tell your friends about us.
Yes.
If you didn't hear the entire show will be loaded onto YouTube channel Faithletic probably sometime tomorrow.
Yep.
And also, these episodes are on our Faithletic
Facebook
page, which you can go back and look as well. And then we're trying to negotiate a deal where we're going to be on something.
We're going to try to get on Apple Podcasts
Yep.
so you can just you can download us on
There
your
you go.
phone.
Yeah.
That's the whole point now. It's
Take us wherever you go.
We're not on the podcast yet, but we are.
Working on it.
We're working on it.
Kyle's in charge of media relations. That's it. That's his deal.
Yeah, I've been handed that tonight. If you didn't see the first part of this.
He's already getting paid for it, so.
Oh, I am?
And yeah, of course you are.
What in okay.
And I didn't say in money. I mean, you got water tonight.
I'll take an icy sometime if you want.
So real quickly, some of our guests tonight that were listening in: Jacob Foster, Kevin Foster. We had Marco was listening to us tonight, and who else have I got here? David Raleigh, Hall of Fame UCO. You know what? I disconnected before. I saw Zach Dillard, Peyton Means. I saw Todd Taylor. I disconnected before I got a chance to look at all of them. But, thanks for joining. And David, I can't think of his name.
Carroll?
David Carroll, yeah.
Yep, he was there.
He's one of our listeners from our previous show,
Yes.
the OT.
And
And
he transferred over.
I am too. I'm glad. Tell your friends about us Thursday nights, 8 p.m., or you can just come to our Facebook page or YouTube channel. You can listen to us anytime. Faithletic, the podcast. We've enjoyed having you. I am Coach Dan. He is.
I'm Casey.
And we will see you Thursday night, 8 p.m. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody.